Good morning, this is Kelloland on the go with all you need to know news and weather as you start your day.
Police have arrested a man in connection to a crash that happened near 10th Street and I-229 Monday morning in Sioux Falls. 45-year-old Philip Kretschy faces several charges, including felony hit and run and driving without a license. Authorities say around 7 a.m., a scooter was traveling on East 10th Street when it was struck by an SUV entering I-229. Police say the 56-year-old driver of the scooter was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. A 45-year-old passenger was also taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Kyle Peters, son-in-law to former South Dakota Governor Noem, is listed as a defendant in a lawsuit out of Cottington County.
The plaintiff is A1 Development, which according to court documents helps South Dakota clients with development, construction, permitting, and government relations.
The lawsuit accuses Kyle Peters and the LLC, of which he is the only member, of, quote, wrongfully competing and diverting business from A1 Development for years.
We spoke with a lawyer representing Peters in the lawsuit. The lawyer says he believes all claims in it are without merit. A hearing on it is not yet scheduled.
Oil prices jumped after the U.S. and Israel attacked Iran over the weekend. And that means prices at the pump are on the rise, too.
According to AAA in South Dakota, the average price for a gallon of regular gas is $2.71. With the most expensive gas in the state found in the Black Hills.
A spokesman for AAA says we are starting to see the impact at the gas pumps in Kelloland.
About 60% of what makes up the price of a gallon of gas is crude oil prices. And so when we see an increase on crude oil prices, that is almost always eventually passed on to consumers at the gas pump. So we anticipate that happening throughout the week.
The U.S. doesn't buy any oil directly from Iran, but is still impacted by the world oil market.
Well, now let's get a check on the weather with meteorologist Scott Munt. Good morning, Scott.
All right, good morning, everybody. We are looking at warm temperatures today, above average, as we start to bring in more and more sunshine as we go through the day. Waking up to fog in central South Dakota this morning. That extends from here to Chamberlain. That will continue to thin as we go over the next couple of hours. Up to 60 today in Rapid City, 40s in northeastern South Dakota. And warming temperatures will continue tomorrow right into Thursday. More details on that with Brian coming up.
Thank you, Scott. A local nonprofit organization has moved into a new facility in Sioux Falls.
The Furniture Mission of South Dakota held an open house Monday morning, giving the public a tour of the new space. It has a larger wood shop room, a room for painting and staining, a laundry unit, and a staging room to help clients choose which furniture they want. Executive
Director Janine Michaeloff shares how donations impact the families.
When you're climbing out of poverty, it's hard enough just to get that security deposit and first month's rent laid down. People are more successful in our community when they're able to go through and make their house a home, make it more comfortable for them.
The new location is along South Van Epps Avenue in Sioux Falls.
There will be another open house today from 3 to 5 p.m.
There's a new exhibit that is helping people experience art in a new way.
The Washington Pavilion is showing the 7 art movements, which is an art exhibit that features touch and sound.
It's a game-changing experience for those who struggle to or can't see.
For the first time ever, this technology allows us blind people to feel what you visually have been seeing for hundreds of years. And it really opens up our mind as a blind person to appreciate what sighted people see in paintings.
Use your fingers to.
Crawford also encourages sighted people to close their eyes so they can experience the exhibit as well.
7 art movements opened in the beginning of March and will be available until the end of May.
The Summit League Basketball Championships tip off tomorrow at the Premier Center in Sioux Falls.
The Sioux Falls Sports Authority lines up more than 50 volunteers each year for the event. They do everything from serving beverages in the media area to checking credentials outside the locker rooms.
Stan Hansen started volunteering after moving from Fargo to Sioux Falls in 2022.
My biggest thing is when I came down to Sioux Falls is to get involved. My parents are very active in their community where they grew up and everything, and volunteer and kind of set that thing. So it was a great way for me to learn, get to know the city of Sioux Falls and volunteer and get to know people and do something that I'm really passionate about is college basketball.
If you'd like to reach out about volunteer opportunities with the Sports Authority, we've provided contact information under this story on KELOLAND.com.
That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get another Check Your Weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, well, running our forecast ahead here as we go toward the end of the week. Interesting to see a few new topics coming up. The fact of the matter is we've got a chance of some thunderstorms in our region by Thursday night into Friday, and already the Storm Prediction Center's put out a chance of a little severe weather across eastern Nebraska, western Iowa. Possibility some of it could sneak into the far southeast, and that's again something that we still have a lot to examine here as far as the placement of all of these features. But going into Friday in particular, it looks like Iowa into Missouri and eastern Kansas, portions of eastern Nebraska. It could be kind of a rough day there with thunderstorms. In fact, even the probability of a tornado outbreak across portions of Kansas, Missouri, looking pretty likely that we're going to have to deal with some of those things. So the point of the matter is that this is in the neighborhood. It's mostly south of us, but obviously we always keep an eye on the northwestern flank of these outlooks, just in case they do shift to the northwest a little bit. And there is some evidence that still says that's possible. Let's go first of all, though, with the quiet weather today. 60 Rapid City, Sioux Falls near 50. We've got a few clouds out there we'll have to continue to examine. Tonight we thin some of the clouds, and that'll be interesting to see how many of those try to return tomorrow. If we can keep those at bay, we'll be likely in the upper 50s in Sioux Falls. 60-degree weather, very likely from Mitchell west all the way to Rapid City. And if that's not warm enough, well, for some of you, you could hit 70 on Thursday. We're looking at Winter, Chamberlain, Mitchell, Yankton, all somewhere in the upper 60s to near 70, and a southeast wind to go with it. These showers and thunderstorms, they are still painted here on the maps. You'll notice a slight shift in the latest data, just a hair south of Yankton, on some of those heavier thunderstorms Friday morning. That's a boundary, and that's going to hold the keys there. Is it going to shift back north again, or will it continue to slide a little south? That's something that we'll be checking in on as we go through our forecast. Obviously, too, you can't rule out some sloppy, wet snow on the backside of a system like this going into Friday afternoon. Maybe Chamberlain, maybe Huron. That, too, is probably, to a lesser extent, a story. We're still anticipating Saturday will warm up, well above freezing. In fact, even 50-degree weather could return to portions of the west. And then we get into Sunday, and we've got probably 60-degree weather returning. Yeah, it's not going to take long. March is one of those months. Things go back and forth awfully quickly, and that's exactly what we see in the next several days. So we'll go up the temperature scale through Thursday. We'll call for that rain chance on Friday. Right now, we're comfortable kind of holding at 53. That seems like a good middle ground here on this. And then Saturday, low 50s in Sioux Falls, presuming we don't get a lot of that wraparound snow component. And then I think we'll take off. We'll go into the 60s on Sunday and Monday. We should see a really decent warm-up early next week. And in fact, the evidence would support 70s possible for portions of our region either Monday or Tuesday. But then it'll change again, as March typically does. Aberdeen, we're going to throw some rain into your forecast on Friday. That could be a sloppy, wet snow if some of the trends come together. But again, that could be an issue more between Aberdeen and Sioux Falls. And then Pierre also gets in the middle of that on Friday. With that front moving through, there'll be some precipitation. It'll be in the 40s, but it's going to warm right back up. I think by Sunday, mid-60s, we could be hitting 70 again in Rapid City by early next week. A lot more on this system online at KELOLAND.com.